Jesus came as a miracle, the good news of great joy. He worked miracles through his earthly ministry. And today I believe all of us stand here as candidates to receive a miracle. To receive a miracle, we've got to be, as individuals, we've got to be knowledgeable of the Word, but most importantly, we have to acknowledge that there's a problem in the first place. We have to be the one to acknowledge that. Maybe it's today that someone's got to admit to themselves that I've got a problem in my marriage, in my finances, in my spirituality. Or I've got a problem with my health, or with drugs, or with alcohol, or with any addiction. It's up to us to acknowledge. Turn to Luke chapter 7 here. Luke chapter 7. We'll go a little further in the book of Luke here, and we'll see a little something here regarding miracles. Luke chapter 7, we'll begin in verse 1. Now when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered into Capernaum. And a certain centurion servant, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Jesus, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. And when they came to Jesus, they besought him sincerely, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. For he loved our nation, and he hath built us a synagogue. Then Jesus went with them, and when he was down not far from the house, then the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou shouldest enter my roof. Therefore neither thou myself worthy to come unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers, and I say unto one, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh, and to my servant, Doeth this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him, and turned him about, and asked unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole that had been sick. Amen. The centurion soldier came to Jesus and acknowledged that he had a problem. His servant was sick, and yet he felt he wasn't worthy of receiving, and sometimes we feel we're just not worthy of God in any capacity, let alone a miracle. But what Jesus found, he found faith. He found so great a faith that he couldn't even find in Israel. That it was because of that faith the problem was solved. What is your problem this morning? What is your problem that needs solving? If we're looking for the good news of great joy, if we're looking for God to perform a miracle in our lives, we need to acknowledge the problem. Amen. And then we've got to possess that not just faith, but uncommon faith. That uncommon faith that Jesus found in the centurion. That uncommon faith. The kind that agrees with the Word of God that miracles can happen in an instant. Because if you read the Word carefully, it said instantly. Did you catch that this morning? Instantly. Amen. The centurion told Jesus that he did not feel worthy to have Jesus even come under his roof. But he asked Jesus to just speak the word, and by that faith he knew his servant would be healed. Jesus noted that the man that had faith ended up really being worthy. Because it's our faithfulness in God that makes us worthy. Yeah. That's why God even pays a little bit of attention to us as he does. The servant was healed right then and there. If we're looking for God to perform a miracle in our lives, we need to acknowledge the problem. We need to possess that uncommon faith. And then we need to possess and we need to have uncommon expectations. What are we expecting today? What kind of miracle do we need today? Anything can happen for you now. And all we need to do is believe that it can. And we need to get ready, because I think this is the season that your miracle is going to happen. I believe the miracle that we've been waiting for, this is the season to have it happen. We were so blessed last night in the singing that we went to in Chillicothe. Just a multitude of blessings that came out. And we just saw people loving the Lord and being caught up in the Spirit. And what a beautiful thing that the Lord would bring us to such a place. That we knew no one there, and they didn't know us, and they took a leap in faith by they never heard us or anything. And And I remember the pastor saying, well, just do a couple of songs, but be prepared to do more. We'll see how it goes. I mean, could you imagine telling people that you've never heard, yeah, just do a whole hour and then you're no good? That would be pretty bad, right? But he went on no use, so just do a couple. We only needed to do one, and we did the whole set, because everyone was blessed by it. Because God was with us. We believed in God. We had faith in God that He would not bring us that far to leave us. And God is with us now. And He can bring to pass the miracle that you're looking for. Well, Brother Ken, how do you know that? Look at the book of Acts, chapter 2, and I'll show it to you. Acts, chapter 2. We'll look at Acts chapter 2, beginning verse 21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God, among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by Him in the midst of you, as you yourselves also know. Him being delivered by the determined counsel and foreknowledge of God, ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain, whom God hath raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that He should be holden of it. Yes, it is all the fact that it begins with the great news of joy. The angels shouted, the shepherds carried out the deal, and it was all about a baby born in a stable, lying in a manger. Every one of us has the opportunity each day to be more like Christ, to embrace the ability to be like Christ. Not just as a teacher or Sunday school teacher or pastor or an evangelist or a singer or a prayer warrior or an intercessory prayer person that's inside the church, but a tangible conduit, a physical way that God's love can be shown to other people. We all possess that. It's a perfect time of the year to make a difference in your life and someone else's life by being in a lighthouse. They can see you and see Christ. They can see you and see why the joy that you have by the celebration. Not because of singing jingle bells and Santa Claus, but because unto this a child was born. Unto this a Savior. As a part of your celebration of Christ, as the Word is made flesh, churches and ministries around the world, sometimes they're limitless in the ways that they can do things, but for us, as a lighthouse in our lives, we can address children that are at risk, perhaps. We can look at disadvantaged women, weary men, and do something for them. The entire community can feel the presence of God just by us being in it. Even as you've had a rough year so far, and some have. And currently maybe you're experiencing some hard times and some aren't. But you still have the ability to let God's Spirit move in your life and through you to other people. Yeah. You can give of your time, your talents, and if you're led by the Lord to do so, your financial resources. And you become the Word made flesh. Yes, you can be the Word made flesh. Well, how is that, Brother Kimball? Let me show you. Look at 2 Corinthians chapter 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Paul writes to the church of Corinth and lets them know that you can be a lighthouse as an individual. 2 Corinthians chapter 3. We'll look here at verse 2. He says, ye are our epistle written in our hearts, known and read of all men. The epistle is the letter. For as much as ye are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Christ's ministry by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit, capital S, Holy Spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Christ to Godward. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of God. Paul is saying, he said, look, you show and make obvious that you're a letter from Christ delivered to the world. Not written in ink, but with the Spirit, the living God. Not on tablets of stone, but in the tablet of human hearts. Written on your heart, written on my heart, is the good news of great joy.